This is the NATO General Secretary refusing to compare Trump's with Biden's team, number 15.
Compare this team of Marco Rubio and Steve Witkoff, obviously the president, all the other people, and Biden's team. What were the different approaches like?
I cannot answer that question because I'm not involved in American politics, and of course we have to work with whoever. You guys here make the president. Let me only say this, that I became close friends with President Trump when he was president between 2016 and 2020. I was Prime Minister of the Netherlands. I've been 14 years in that role. I've worked with many presidents in the United States, and those 4 years I found extremely pleasant to work with him. And I was, of course, very happy to see that he was coming back, not having a view on the outcome of the elections, because we are not involved here. But he is a close friend, and we work very well together, and I look very much forward to the next 3.5 years.
Now, this is the NATO General Secretary. Remember, Trump put pressure on NATO to up their defense contribution, not to 2.5%, which was a former goal, which most of them were not meeting, but 5%. Here's what the NATO General Secretary said about all of this, number 16.
Well, he was amazing, and he is amazing. And let me tell you this, that his criticism of NATO was right. What he was saying is that the U.S. is spending so much more on its defense, and therefore spending on the collective defense of NATO territory than the Europeans. And the great thing is, and I think this is, and I hope the Americans see this, probably one of his biggest foreign policy successes of his president, of Trump 47, is that during the NATO summit we committed collectively to this 5% spending, including 3.5% on the core defense spending. That's the same the US is spending. So now we are equalizing what the US is spending, what the Europeans are spending. And he has therefore taken a different view. He always said that he supported NATO, but he also expected the Europeans to pay up, to spend more. He has been successful in doing this. So today, the conversation was a conversation among friends, among close allies who respect each other, who like each other, who know each other very well, discussing how we can bring this terrible war to an end. And this is a goal we all have in common. And without President Trump, this deadlock with Putin would not have been broken. He was the only one who could do that, starting in February.
You hear that? Trump is forcing NATO countries to spend substantially more of their GDP on this collective defense. And here you have the NATO General Secretary admitting, we've been exploiting you guys, we've been ripping you off, we've been riding your coattails for a very long period of time. And Donald Trump was right to spank us. George W. Bush complained that NATO was not ponying up. Barack Obama complained. Donald Trump complained and did something about it. And not only did NATO step up, but you have the NATO General Secretary admitting that Donald Trump was right, that Donald Trump should have and did pressure us into spending more. It's amazing. So a lot of people in this country hate this man, but I'm telling you, our allies respect him and our enemies fear him.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.